Cool. Salutations to the prime 747 24/7 361 degrees. We are broadcasting. It is 11:13. Peace to the family. Let me make sure my audios are right and we'll begin. Let me make sure the video is right. If you are in here, state your name, put it in the comment section. You are relevant. So, yeah. Peace to the family. Peace. Yes, we are live. We are now live. All right. Shout out to the family. One, two. All right. So it sounds like I think we got pretty good levels. I think everything is pretty rolling all right. Everything is cool. Let me see. All right. Shout out to you if you in here. State your name. Put it in the comment section. Like I said, you are relevant. I want to say peace and love. Okay, stop the press. We got an all-star in the building. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Lorraine Muhammad, you on a late night with us. I'm so happy now. I'm so happy. Shout out to Sister LaAnk Messiah Cole All-Star. Y'all up on a late night for this one. Yo, y'all up on a late night for this one. I am so happy. Cool. Salutations to the primes. 747 24/7 361 degrees 1221. You know, love is love. Love is love. Messiah Cole All Stars. I'm so happy to have y'all in the building. Thank y'all for staying up. Shalom. Shalom. I'm happy. Thank y'all for staying up with us tonight. You know, it's going to be a great discussion. All right. It's going to be a very, very great, epic discussion. I want to have a little bit of fun as usual. And I just want to speak from the heart. I want to speak from love. I want to speak from joy. You know, if we're learning something here, you know, I want it to be a joyous experience. All right. I want it to be a monumental experience as well. So let me stop this music real quick and I'd like to introduce myself. I am Solar Prime Supreme 131, Lazarus Lamel of the Messiah Code movement. All right. So this is part 2 of a great discussion that we had last night called Instructions How to Escape the Simulation. Now, if you was here last night, it was a great build. I had a PowerPoint that was connected to this called the mainframe. Okay. Because in order to break the simulation, you have to tap into the mainframe consciousness. We are in the age of what we call Tanun or information. And in this age, it is a mainframe consciousness, all right? A programmable reality, okay? How you feel it, how you see it, how you touch it, how you smell it. And it is known to be an information-based reality rather than a matter-based reality. So that's something I want to share with you as well. So let me bring up a little bit of meditational thoughts. And we'll begin the discussion. All right. So it was all about, yesterday was all about breaking out of the cube. You know, we were contacted by the map translator yesterday, and we received revelations about what the cube is truly about. All right. And what I was telling people is that, we need to break out of the cube, and how the cube was formed and what put us in a box was various different geometrical shapes. All right. You said, can I get a psychic reading? Yes, I will be doing readings with the purple pills. This is with the purple pill, but you got to know what the purple pill is about. All right. Thank you for anybody that's coming in from the YouTube. I would say, please be patient. When we do readings, we actually do readings with stones that we call the purple pill. All right. Again, this is the Messiah code, and you need to know what it means to take the purple pill, because you have been offered to follow the rabbit, and you have been offered to take the blue pill and the red pill. And all of these choices are vague choices. All right. But if you choose these, that's your choice. I respect it. I want to say that. All right. So, like I said, it was about breaking out of the cube, tapping into the mainframe consciousness. All right. And the question was, well, what is the cube? The cube was the box. Now, remember, the cube has 6 faces. It has 6 faces. It has 12 lines. These 12 lines are what we call bars. All right. These are the bars of the cage. And those 6 faces are actually the 6 laws, or the laws that trapped us in, that became walls. Now, I told people you can go and pound against the wall and try to go against the law, but it's designed, if you go, excuse me, if you pound against the wall, it will only, it's designed to not break. All right. Because that's not the weakest point in the box that you're locked in. It's not the laws. All right. It's not the wall. Now, let me explain this furthermore. Now, again, I told people, I'm here to free you from the matrix. They got us trapped in a matrix. The matrix is like a womb. The matrix is like a womb. It's cool. It's good. And within this womb, it's totally good. If it whatever, just go back in and out to make it work. All right, that's cool. So within this womb, it became loops that we were trapped in. We were trapped in loops of such, and we had to break these loops, okay, or break these chains, or these 144 locks. All right. So now I'm going back to this cube. Explain further more about this cube, because remember, the cube also had 8 vertices. All right. For anybody that's here to think outside of the box, all right, I'm talking about the cube here. All right. Now, the cube, again, this is all about the matrix. This is the matrix that had us stuck. This was the matrix that had us in the loops. All right. Remember, the matrix is the womb. All right. But it's the loops of the womb that we go back and forth within. All right. So you was offered the blue pill, the red pill. The blue pill was for forgetfulness. All right. It was for you to forget everything. If somebody brought you the truth, you will forget it. The red pill was for to sacrifice somebody that is important, or somebody that you love. Okay. If you take the red pill, you won't have any remorse, because they will offer you riches and fame. So you won't have any remorse for that. Okay. So now we'll break it down to the purple pill. The purple pill represented that you were willing to be that sacrifice, and that you were not willing to forget, because the blue pill represents forgetfulness, but you were willing to forgive. All right. And that was the energy of the purple, thus increasing your royalty, tapping you into your royalty. All right. So, like I said, what I want people to do is to think outside of the box. Think outside of the box in this discussion. And I told people that in order to break out of the matrix, or in order to come out of the matrix, you have to In order to come out of the matrix, you have to literally be called. All right? You have to be called to come out of the matrix. Okay? So you said the audio sounds static. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Hello? Does it sound better now or no? Does it sound better now? Yes or no? Thank you. Just let me know. I'm sorry. So, like I said, in order to free yourself, you took the purple pill. Can you take those audios down, please? Thank you. In order to free yourself, you took the purple pill. So, thank you. Now, what's so deep about this box that I told y'all that? Thank you, everybody, for providing help with the audio. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. So, the box. Let me explain about the box and the reason why I said that you had to be called to come out of the matrix. This is one of the many boxes that they trapped us in. Okay? This image that I'm showing you right here is what they call the magic square of Saturn. You said, yo, LaMail, man, it looks like a phone dial thing, like when I'm dialing a number on a phone. All right, but it's kind of scrambled up. Yeah, does it not? Does it look like a phone box or something like that when you trying to dial a phone number or something like that? See, we used to dial phone numbers back in the day. Now you just pick a name and just go to that person. But back in the day, you used to know everybody's number because you used to dial up their number. All right. So what you notice about the magic square of Saturn, right? You know, you got the 5 that's in the middle. 5 is the number of magic. Now, remember, you got 5 forms of magic. What are they? You got black magic, white magic, you got divination, sorcery, and love. Love is the greatest magic of them all, and they bow down to it. All of those forms of magic. All right. So that's the principle. Those are the principles of magic. Okay. So that's why they place the 5 in the middle in order to create balance, in order to create the magic. They place the 5 in the middle of this magic square of Saturn. Now, if you know anything about Saturn, Saturn is really illusionary. It's an illusionary, depressionary sign. It's a sign of conquest. I mean, just the energy of it. When they utilize Saturn for so many things, okay? Especially conquest and to conquer people. All right. So now, because Saturn has all the planets in orbit, where it has all its moons in orbit, meaning that all of them are following direction of that energy. Now, hear me out. This is the magic square of Saturn of what they had us trapped in. And these are the numbers that you had to dial up until you figure out, till you can reach the operator. So now you tell me, this is a quiz for everybody on here. What is the magic number here in order for you to reach the operator? Because obviously you don't see the 0. I told people this. I said, man, you know, if I tell you to pick a number between 1 and 31, right? 1 and 3, 1, which are your birthday, right? It flows between a 1 and 31 number. I'm not talking about the year because we don't know what year it is. But listen, man, when you pick those numbers, nobody has the 0 number, right? Am I right or wrong? So the magic square of Saturn has you trapped because it doesn't have the 0 on its dial. So you can never dial the operator. You understand? So my question is this. This is a quiz for anybody in the chat. What is the number for the operator if you call in Saturn? What is the number for the operator? This is a quiz for the chat. Put it in the comment section. You can take any guess for any number. Somebody might say, it's my birthday. This might be my log date number. You can say anything that you want to say for an answer. I'm questioning the chat. I don't know if y'all got this. So I just showed the magic square Saturn. What is the number for the operator? Anybody in here knows the number to the operator. We'll get to the operator right now. Now, remember, I told you, you in the matrix. The only way you can get out of the matrix is to be called. Now, first, in order to be called, you have to call up the operator because you have to go to the landline. You have to reach a landline in order for the operator to connect up with you. Somebody said the number is 13. Anybody got any guesses? That's a good guess. Anybody have any other guesses? What is the magic number? What is the magic number to get out of the magic square of Saturn? Saturn got y'all trapped. It's Saturn that got everyone trapped because we were in the moon phase. In 1999, that's when we came out of the moon cycle. So in order to come out of the moon cycle, now remember, the Matrix movie came out. Somebody, Brother Unaga, peace to the Brothers Boot Camp in the building. Unaga said 7. Listen, the Matrix movie came out in the year 1999, March 31st. Pay attention, 31, all right? March 31st. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, those are some good guesses. And I applaud y'all because y'all didn't mind if y'all was wrong. Y'all were brave for stepping up to the plate. Anybody else try to call the operator? You trying to get out of the box. You mean to tell me everybody here is satisfied with being in the damn box? What number you would dial up to try to get to the operator? Anybody? Just a question. Unaga said 7. I'm good with that. You said 7. I can't pronounce your name, but you said 3 and 13. I'm cool with that. Anybody else got any numbers that you trying to dial up to get out of here? Let me know. All right. I'm going to go with the build. I'm going to proceed with the build so y'all can get what's going on. Angela said 5. We getting warm. We getting warm here. Eddie said 0. You can't dial 0. Duh. Because there's no 0 on the dial. There's no 0 on the dial, bro. You can't dial. I'm telling you, if you in the matrix, in order to get out of the matrix, you have to be called. So in order to be called, you first have to connect with the operator so the operator can tell you where the landline is so you can get out of it. Come on, man. These are riddles. These are for like, I know a lot of us, we study these things. But what I'm saying is that these are riddles. These are riddles for your mind to unlock and unravel. Unaga said 4. All right, look at this. I got you. The answer is this. The answer to get out of the magic square of Saturn, the answer to dial up is this, 15. The number is 15, y'all. Because if you paid attention, what was going on is every number added up to 15, no matter what. If you went to every side, it added up to 15. 9 plus 5 plus 1 equals 15. 4 plus 3 plus 8 equals 15. 4 plus 5 plus 6 equals 15. 2 plus 5 plus 8 equals 15. However you want to play with that game, it's going to always equal 15. So when you going through the magic square of Saturn, you're going through it, right? And you're just adding these numbers up, and guess what they're doing? They're adding up to 15. So the way to get out and the way to connect up with the operator is 15. Come on. Now, if you ever saw the body of the Messiah, what do you see in the body of the Messiah at 15? It's the throat box. Watch this. Yo, man, bust your brain. At the number 15 in the body, right, you see a throat box, which represents Saturn. Do y'all not see that? Y'all see a dot with a circle around it. That represents the number 15. Because if you count all these numbers up from 1 from the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the hip, 6 the hand, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 is basically the torso, and 15 is the throat box. You see that? This is why I said you call. You using your throat box to call. That's the number 15 of the body of the Messiah, the returning Messiah, which is us collectively when we form that body. So yes, the number is 15. We cracked the code. We cracked the code here with the Messiahs. So now what you notice that 15 adds up to 6. It adds up to 6. Now that was the 6 sides of the box that they got us trapped in. Listen, the prison that they had us trapped in, or the box that they had us trapped in, was a prison of the mind. My fault. I'm going to show you this. This is the box that they had us trapped in. It was a prison. It was a prison for your mind. I need y'all to pay attention. It was a prison for your mind. All right. And now what's so significant about this prison? Like I said, it has 6 sides attached to it. The planet Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun. Pay attention. The 6th planet from the sun is Saturn. So the sacred number that balances it is 15. All right. And then 15 adds up to the number 6. All right. And I told you what they got us locked in, not only locked in our mind, they got us locked in the body. And that was through the spell of carbon, because carbon has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. And that was your 666. And this was your walls on each side. This was the walls of the box that they had us trapped in. And those walls actually represented the laws that we were trapped in. All right. They represented the laws that they try to convict us of or try to trap us in. All right. So moving forward, what you notice is this as well. You see, again, the cube has 6 faces, it has 12 edges, and it has 8 vertices. Now, before I take you to the book of Revelations, bringing back the lesson, see, the edges or represents the lines of the box that they got us trapped in. Those 12 edges represent the 12 zodiac signs. I told people we're coming out of Pisces. We're coming out of the Pisces. We're coming into the age of information, meaning that you must get information. All right. Now, again, the structure is built like that. It's designed like that, so you cannot escape. So you cannot escape. But what I'm telling you today, if you stick around for the discussion, you will know how to escape this box, this prison, not only of the body, but of the mind. All right. Now listen, this was in the book of Revelations 21:16. When they described the city lieth 4 square, and the length is as large as the breadth. They're describing a cube. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. 12,000 furlongs. All right, hear me out. This is what I'm saying. They describing a cube to you. This is why you got to pay attention to the scriptures, and you got to know math when you hear it. When you read in the scriptures, you can't just be reading the scriptures like a believer. Because if you read it like a believer, they're going to lie to you, because the word lie is in the word believe anyway. All right. So like, pay attention. So like what they telling you in Revelations, when the mothership landed, it wasn't like a alien ship like what you thought. The mothership landed on your mind, because it was the relationship with the mothers and fathers of old and of new. All right. So look, so now we just breaking down the book of Revelations, right? And what this means and how this connects up. You say, well, what do the vertices mean? Well, the vertices represent the height, like vertical, like you taking flight, like Jordan. What does Jordan do? Jordan has a vertical, but it's the vertices, and the height is dealing with the I's, because the ninth letter of the alphabet, the highest letter of the alphabet, is I. So it's what you say: I am this, I am that, I am whatever, I'm fly, I'm whatever. So it connects up with your I's. So that's what the vertices are about. And that's why it's only 8 vertices in this box. All right. If you pay attention. So moving forward, yeah. So those 6 sides, or those 6 faces, those represented the six, those represented carbon. It represented the body. How they utilize the carbonated body to trap us within a cell. Cells like the cells of your body. But that cell of your body was really a prison cell. It was really a prison cell of your mind. So now y'all been called. Now y'all know how to tap into the operator. Y'all know how to contact the operator, number 15, the planet Saturn. See, Saturn is your real moon, because that moon is not a moon. Listen, Saturn goes around the zodiac 29.5 years, while Jupiter goes around the zodiac 12 years in precession. It takes that same time amount for the moon, what you call the moon, to go around the earth, around 29 days. All right. And then the sun to go through the zodiac is about 12 months. 12 months. So all of this is just real information if you pay attention. And what I'm sharing with you is how to crack the code and how to get out of the box. Now, again, you should know all of this information, because you're going to be you're going to be called upon to know this information. All right? When you're in that box, it has 6 sides to it. All right? You got to know the prison that they locked you in. And then not only that, the bars, it has 12 bars. Those 12 bars aren't 12 zodiac signs at all. All right. Excuse me. The 12 zodiac signs aren't 12 zodiac signs at all. They're 12 bars to keep you trapped in the cell. All right. So now you realize that the dimensions of the prison that they got you locked in, you see the vertices of it. Yeah. Like I said, it had 8 vertices. And those 8 vertices represented the number eight to be great, because the number 8 represented your eyes. It was the doorway to the creator. And then what if you want to know what a vertex is, these are the angles of the box itself. So if they got you trapped in a box, the angles of the box are called the vertices. So you thought the weakest point of the box was the walls. It was the laws, because if you spell wall backwards, it's law. You thought that you can get past the law, and that would be the weakest point of the box that they had you trapped in. And no, it wasn't. The weakest point of the box is the vertices, is the angles, or what they call the angels. Because if they have you in a box, what you notice is that when you're looking at the vertices up in the box that they got you trapped in, lights start coming out of those things. And that's the light that's coming in your direction to your eyes. So you begin to see things. Because this box that they had you trapped in, more or less, it was an illusionary box. It was a box of illusions, where it was a prison of your mind. It was a hell in a cell. It was a hell in a cell. Trust me on that. And you're going to have to go through a lot of hell to get to a little bit of heaven. All right. So let me share some more thoughts with y'all, messiahs. All right. So now you know the dimensions of the prison. And we talking about the 6 sides represent carbon, which is the atomic structure of it. 6 protons, neutrons, 6 electrons, all in one configuration. Life forms are built out of carbon chains. These are chains, these are locks that lock us in bondage, in a biological bondage of existence. All right. But I'm going to tell you, you are eternal, Messiah. So pay attention to the call that you're receiving in the matrix to get you out of it. All right. So now, yeah, disguised under 12. Yeah, those 12 bars. Those were the 12 bars. That's why I said you needed 144 locks. It wasn't 144,000, it was 144 locks, because you had to do 12 square. And when you do 12 square, what did you get? You got the 144 locks. that you broke to get out of the box. And that's when you start seeing through the angles, which was the angels. And the angels are speaking through the light because the light started coming through the box because the box had you in darkness. It had you in darkness where you didn't even know. But when you saw that light started coming through the corner of the box, you start realizing it was hope. And that angle, see, that's why they say, the masters say that the angels really represent angles because these are the angles that get you out of the box. All right. So you say, man, so now that the light started shining in the box, look, watch how we break this stuff down. The light started shining in the box. You start realizing this. See, that's in Revelation chapter 13, verse 18, when it says 666, and I called the number of the beast. And the number of the beast represents the lower state of man. I broke that down with carbon, with the essentially the molecular structure of carbon itself. All right. So now moving forward, I told people, they got us in such of a box. They got us in such of a box. You see things in two dimensions. You see things in two dimensions, just with these two eyes, 2 dimensions. And I told you, stop just seeing things just with your eyes. Yeah, they brought it to the number 8 so you can see it to your eye, but they brought it through somewhere else so you can see with your third eye. All right. So you can see in 3 dimensions, not 2 dimensions, because when you see this image, you're looking at it the wrong way. You need to start looking at it this way. You start looking at it a 3D image, not a 2D image. Look at the structure like a 3D image, because you need to see reality is parallel to that. And all of these structures, I need you to see them in a 3D, 3-dimensional way, where you see persons, places, and things, past, present, and future, and the reason why you're in the position that you're in. All right. So moving forward, this will open your eye, the diamond eye. As you notice, that square is turned. The square is turned because when you open your eye, you open it up and it becomes a diamond because you was under pressure, just like a diamond. And I told you, and I broke it down. Y'all got to pay attention. Please pay attention. I love y'all, but y'all got to pay attention to this discussion because it's so heavy. It's so heavy that a lot of it will go over your head. It will go over your head, the things that I'm hinting, that I'm saying to you. Yeah, carbon, when I was talking about the 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons, yeah, that beast right here is talking about carbon. Yeah, this beast is talking about carbon. All right. And that was the carbonated body. But that carbonated body under pressure, I told you, becomes the diamond. It becomes the diamond eye that you open. That's the diamond eye that you open. All right. Because carbon under pressure becomes a diamond. All right. It becomes a diamond. So you were that carbonated body that was under pressure. And you see things with the open eye. You see things with the open eye. Please pay attention. Messiahs. All right. So I'm going to give you furthermore in this discussion. So you operate from the dot. How many degrees in a circle? We know it's 361 degrees in a circle. Whatever they told you, if they told you 360 degrees in a circle, that is not the truth. There is 361 degrees in a circle. All right. So hopefully people are paying attention to what's going on. All right. Because it's definitely something really, it's a code that you must unlock. And if you don't unlock this code, you're going to be steady. You're going to be trapped in the box. So I gave y'all the number to dial. The number to dial was 15. And when you dial 15, right? You dial 15, it added up to 6, and you broke those. You realized that the light was shining through the corner. It was shining through the corner because this right here, this image right here, I'm going to show y'all. This image, can you give me that? Oh, never mind, I got it. This image right here represents your pass key. All right? Your pass key in order to get out of the box. Excuse me. You see this? This is your pass key. Because what you notice at the edge of the box, you have a tetrahedron. See, our pyramids are three-sided. They're not four-sided at the bottom. They're three-sided, which represents the tetrahedron, but it represents the pass key in order to get out of the box that they got us trapped in. Now, watch this. So now we knew the dimensions of the prison that they had us trapped in. We know something about this corner right here. This angle. This angle was the angel. This was the angel that spoke to us, because angles are actually angels. All right. So look, moving forward, this is sacred geometry right here. This giving you real, true sacred geometry. They gave us only 120 years, and you say, well, what did that have to do with? Watch this. Watch this. Um, Genesis chapter 6. Genesis chapter 6. Watch this. Genesis chapter 6, right? I'm gonna show y'all something real quick, because you said, well, what did the 6 have to do with it? Because you know, I took y'all to the 6, Genesis chapter 6, right? Um, and I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna read something real quick, and I'll bring it up on the screen. Look at this. Genesis chapter 6. This is what it says. Pay attention. Right? And this is Genesis chapter 6. Well, let me take this. This is when they talk about they gave man 120 years to live. There were giants in the earth and men of the renown, and children were born to them, and then the same became mighty men, which were old men of renown. You know that word renown is Ashura, right? They're talking about Osiris. They talk about the people of the ancients, the ancient ones, all right, the people of renown. And I saw that the wickedness of man was so great in the earth. Stop. I saw the wickedness of man was so great in the earth that, I'm sorry, y'all, that what it said. He said, he said, and that evil was in his heart continually. All right. And then they talk about how man was only given 120 years. My fault. I don't know if I got that verse. I'm going to pull it up. I'll find it for y'all. It talks about when man was given 120 years. All right. But this 120 years actually represented the 120 of clairvoyant vision. All right. Now pay attention to this build real quick. This is very, very, very important for you to pay attention to this, because it's all mathematics. It's all mathematically proven. All right. So the 120 represented the 20 that I had, which is 10 fingers and 10 toes. I have 120. You have 120, which is 10 fingers and 10 toes. That was the 120. All right. And the 120 also represented 2020 vision, because if we have 2020 between us, we have clarity. All right. So moving forward. Now, these are congruent angles right here. You see that? That's the eye. These are congruent angles, meaning that all of these angles are equal to each other at 120 degrees. And that 120 represented your perception here on the earth. That 120. All right. And what's so deep about it is, listen, that's the 2020 vision operating from the dot. Now we solved the riddle of the equation. We know the top portion of the triangle. Remember, we were looking at an angle or an angel that was speaking to us through our eyes. We were talking to an angel through our eyes, the gateway. All right. So now, this is what's so deep about it. You say, well, how was you talking to the angel through your eyes? So what you notice about in the old Matrix movie, the old program, you had to be called. Yeah, that was a level of the game. But once you got to the higher level of the game, which is the fourth level, what you notice is this. In order to get out of the Matrix, they used something else, which was this. They used the mirror to get themselves out. In order to get out of this, you had to fundamentally get out through this. And I told you, when the angel was speaking to you, the angel was speaking to you through your eyes, through your eyes. Because when the light shined down, remember when the light started shining through the box, because you was finding the weakest point in the structure. And what you noticed, that light was shining through this corner, and that corner was the angle, which was the vertice. All right. And that angle provided light for you to see something, which was your reflection. And you noticed you was in a mirror. The box was a whole mirror. And then you start looking at the box. And then what you start notice is how to get out of the box. The prison that had your mind trapped. The prison that had you trapped was right here. All right. It was right here the whole time. All right. So, yes, that's the top portion of this equation. So, yeah, when the angels were talking to you in the top portion, they were speaking through your eyes. All right. But it goes deeper than that, because now we're talking about the physical plane as well, because you're on the physical plane. You can't denounce it. All right. So on the physical plane, you actually got 20. We're going to solve what this 120 represents. All right. This 120 represents something else. All right. So, and I'm going to solve the riddle for what this 120 means. This 120 actually, when you break it down, it represented 24 hours, because the base is 24. And if you split that 24 in half, you get 12. And one times 20, or you took the zero off, you got the number 12. All right. So now we're trying to find the height of this object, because the height represents what you are willing to endure. What are you willing to take? How much pain are you willing to take in order to break out of this box? A lot of y'all are complacent, and y'all are willing to stay within a box. And when the light comes through that crack, you're not going to answer. You're not going to follow the guidance from the light. But what I'm told you is, when that light came through, you realize that the box was it was a bunch of mirrors in the box. The whole box was just mirrors. And it was telling you how to get out of it. All right. So now this is the real matrix. This is the real matrix. Because remember, I told you, when you come out of the matrix, you go into the book. All right. And now we're bringing you out of it, because the matrix is the cube, the box that they had you trapped in. All right. So now the 24 hours, you split that in half, you get 12. And in order to find the height, 12 plus 12 is 24. But in order to find the height, you're going to have to do 12 squared. And 12 squared is 144. All right. And that 144 actually represented the hertz of a sample rate. It's like when you're doing music, it's like when you're singing a song. And then even the birch tree, it has a resonance that connects up with that same type of frequency. That's why the birch is very important. It's a very important tree. All right. So yes, it was the angles that gave you the light, or the angels that gave you the guiding light, in order for you to see your own reflection. All right. Now, again, 12 square is 144. And then if you look at the top portion of this triangle, you knew it was 2020. So you have to do 20 times 20. All right. 20 times 20 equals 400. And if I do 144, subtract 400, I get 256. All right. And that 400 actually represent 4. It represented you getting on all fours. You getting on all fours, north, east, south, and west, because the universe made sure that you was never lost. That's why you get on all fours. All right. So that way you can tap into the frequency of direction. Okay. So moving forward, just to say, well, what is the 400 about? The 400 is really a riddle itself. But when you subtract 144 from 400, 144, you get 256. And 256 is 16 square. And 16 square is very important. It's a very important number here. All right? Because 16 square represents the numbers of an IP address. All right? So in order to get on the internet, each and every one of us right now, we all have an IP address. Moving off an internet protocol IP version 4. Now, I need you to know this. All of those numbers are already bought. They're already bought. So it's no way that you can be unique when you come on here. So let's say if you try to upload your consciousness to the mainframe, you can't do it because you don't have a unique address or unique description of who you are. That's why in the year it was prophesied by, you say, oh man, the end of the world was supposed to happen in 2012, 1212 or whatever like that. What if I tell you the prophecy was fulfilled? The end of the world did happen in 2012. Y'all just didn't know it happened. All right. The reason why the end of the world happened because they launched something June 6th, 2012. Pay attention. You say June 6th is the devil's birthday. It almost sounds like it. All right. But these were the locks that had us locked in. The devil's rule was over. All right. So they dropped IPv6. Listen, like I said, in order to get on the internet, you got something called network address translation. All right. So or network translation protocol, my fault, NTP, network translation protocol, meaning that let's say I give you a phone number, but the moment you go outside of your house, you get an assigned number that's recycled over and over. And when you in your house, you got this private address that only deals with the numbers that's inside of your house. All of those numbers are recycled and they're bought. All right. And so you're playing by these things are basically rented. It's no way that you can upload your consciousness to a living entity, which is the internet. It's living. It doesn't shut down. When was the last time the internet shut down? It will never shut down. It is now autonomous. It is now autonomous. It is a living entity within our orbit, within our ionosphere. And ionosphere was John. Our ion was John, which is the book of Revelations that I'm sharing with you right now. All right. So, yeah, this is part 2 of instructions how to escape the simulation. And all of these are facts. All of this is factual information that I need you to pay attention to. All right. Because I'm leading you here. This is where I'm leading you at in order to free you. I'm leading you here so you can know the way to escape the box, the way to escape out of here, to get out of this box. All right. So now, like I said, they launched IPv6 June 6, 2012, which was the end of the world. It happened that day. It happened that day when they launched that protocol, because you know what it meant? You got 340 undecillion addresses that's within IPv6. See, an address is important. An address represents how you get on the internet. You cannot get on the internet without an address. It is a space. An address is a vehicle to move within that space. The same way that you have a body and your address is your log date. How you logged in space and time represents the frequency of your body. Because whether you know it or not, when your mom and dad, when they conceived you, they actually, that Big Bang, it didn't create a life form. It created a frequency. It created a sound, and you are that sound that God hears or that God listens to. I need y'all to pay attention. So, yeah, it was a mainframe consciousness in the world. Excuse me. The world was over. It was the end of the world. 2000. That's prophecy. That's what they was talking about. Was prophecy. It was truth. And the end of the devil's rule was in the year 1999 when the Matrix movie came out, because they gave you the keys so you can unlock what's really going on. They gave you like hints. They gave you hints. Like a lot of these movies, they gave you hints. But that movie is unlike no other. When something leaves an impression on generations for years to come, it does something to the universe, because the universe moves on intentions. Y'all got to understand that. So if millions and millions and billions of people watch the movie Matrix over and over again, they have a residual feeling of what consciousness really truly is. So thus the intentions is what the universe is providing, so you can know how to get out of it for real, for real. So just moving forward, you know, moving forward, you know, that's that four represented your compass. I showed y'all that. That led you to the corner. That led you to the corner. That corner represents the Dabir. And you know, the Dabir is the niche. That represents the matrix, because Dabir is where the priests used to direct everyone to pray. All right. And then you started seeing objects like this. Like, for instance, the 6-pointed star now look like this because you see in higher dimensions. All right. And you're seeing from the real true flower of life, which is the sacred tree of life. See, we all really go back to a garden, or because we came from the garden. See, the Messiah, after alleged crucifixion, resurrection, what was he dressed as? The gardener. He was dressed as the gardener. All right. So yes, that's the sacred tree of life that we all stem from. All tree being one. All of these forces link up to become one entity that meet at the center. There are 361 degrees in a circle, the dot from which we operate, which is the thoughts. All right. So this box, remember, it had 12 bars associated with it. These 12 lines right here of this box represented the 12 zodiac signs. I told you we coming out of the age of Pisces. Remember, the Messiah said, "An evil and adulterous nation seeketh after a sign, but no sign shall be shown to them except for the sign of the prophet Jonah." And Jonah came out of the belly of the whale. And y'all are coming out of the matrix the same way. But instead of the slave ships y'all was coming out of back in those times, now y'all coming out of the matrix. All right. Now, moving forward, y'all broke out of the box. Y'all saw the walls, which were the laws that had you convicted in conviction. All right. Thinking that these things are so real, but they were not. All right. You were able to step out of the box. You were able to step out of the box to see the world from a different place. All right. And what I said is that when you see in the corner of the box, you actually see in the light come to your eye. That right there is a prism. The same thing as a prism when the light came to your eye. And the light was that it came through the angle or the angels. All right. And this what led you to create the book. Now remember this. Remember this. You go to and fro, right? And then up is the height. So when you multiply these things, what do you get? You get the volume. You get the volume of your book. You hear me? Look, listen. These are the keys. This is a key. What I'm showing you is a key. This is to and fro, right? To and fro. So you're able to measure those distances. Now you got up and down. Okay? So with this, when you put it together, it connects up to the third eye. It connects you to the third eye, which connects to the occipital lobe. All right. Now, This book that you're creating, you're writing your story, you're coming out of the loops. This is the rectangular prism. This is the rectangular prism. You begin to write the story in the codex, connecting up with your roots. Because even when they chop a tree down, the roots still remain, and that's called the codex. All right? Moving forward, if you see these numbers right here, 1 times 1 equals 2, all right, on this structure, but this is binary. This is why I was telling you 16, because 16 times 16 is 256, but 0, we can't take 0. So it's only 0, it's 0 through 255 probabilities. So with this equation right here, what you notice is you can have every number in between 255. If you notice 111, 111 right here, if I turn all these numbers on with binary, because with binary, this is how they communicate. It's either on or off, and they have certain positions within that. And those positions represent on or off. So this position could represent 1. This position represents 2. This position represents 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128. Those are the 8 positions. All right? You hear me? Those are the 8 positions. Then you have a 9th position, which represents off. All right. So when you cut all of these are like wires going into something, right? And they sending out electrical impulses. So if I'm sending out electrical impulse through this wire, it would represent 1. If I send it out simultaneously, it can represent other variations. So what you notice is that 111 in binary is 8, 4, which is 12, 14, all right? And then you got 15. That's what 111 is in binary. And that's why I broke it down to y'all. I said, man, we coming in at 1111. And then I showed y'all the sacred square of Saturn, the magic square of Saturn, and how to escape it. It was 111. How do you dial 15? You said, how do I dial 15? Yo, man, y'all gotta pay attention. Please pay attention, because everything that I say to you, a lot of it may like it's gems in it all over the place. Should I say that? It's gems all over the place. So when I was talking about the magic square of Saturn, right? The magic square of Saturn. Let me see if I can pull that out. Let me show you. Like when I was talking about the magic square of Saturn, like how to dial the number 15. The number 15 is, you had to use the angel number. You say angel number, yeah, you had to use the angel number, which was 1111. It was 4 ones. That's how you dial the number. Man, all this is riddles, man. All these are riddles. All of these are riddles. Man, I'm giving y'all so many riddles that are so unlocked. There's so much unlocked. Today is Hu-He, which is the creative force of will. Please pay attention. These are revelations. Listen, in order to dial the number 15, you dial 1111. And that was the number 15 to escape out of the magic square of Saturn. Thus, it was binary. Right there. Right there. All along. All the answers were there all along. And that brought you up to sweet 16. Sweet 16, yo. Trust me on that. I'm breaking that down right there so y'all can see what this means. This is all relevant information for anybody that's on heavy thoughts, Dr. Phil type of people, people that study, people like, that really into heavy thoughts, metaphysical thinking in order to unlock these riddles. Here you go. These are, all these clues are right here. So, this is talk, man, numbers don't lie, man. Numbers don't lie. So, yeah, this is the Sweet 16 because the height of that triangle was 16. If you had two congruent angles of 20/20 and the base being 24, the height of the object was 16. The height of the object was 16. All right. And that's when I brought y'all to IPv4. And I told y'all we cracked the code and we went to IPv6. All right. So, yeah. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Now, I did say I was going to do some readings on here. I will do some readings. I'll do some reading. I'll do some readings or whatever. You know? But I'm saying, look, this is very important information. Anything I can share with you. This information is very important. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? I know a lot of this stuff was real heavy, but please take time to digest it. Any questions? I'll give y'all time to type it in the comment section. Peace to the movement. What's up? This was a very interesting discussion. Peace to everybody that took the purple pill as well. You know what it is. You know what it is. All right. Um, it's 12:16. Cool. Peace to the Oracle. Peace. Thank you, Sister Angela. Hopefully you got some of these books. I suggest you get this book right here, which is the Proverbs of the Messiah. Very good book to start out with. Cool. I hope you get that book. Very good book to start out with. So I hope like all of this stuff is really clear. I know I spoke in a lot of metaphors, parables, and whatnot. You said a reading time. Yeah, I'll do a reading. Now, what is your name? I don't know how to say your name. And I want to be able to address you if I'm going to say your name. I don't know how to say your name. I know you're probably, I, you know, just make sure that we can connect up. I'll do a reading. I'm going to utilize the purple pill. Utilize the purple pill for this reading. All right. So let me know. Let me do that first. Let me get your name so I can know how to say your name before I do it. So we can make that connection. Yeah, I don't know how long it takes, but it is what it is. Any other questions? Any questions or comments about today's discussion? Jean Noel. All right. That sounds like a holy name. Thank you. Thank you, Jean. All right, cool. So, Jean, this is what I want you to do. Before I do readings, I really do my best to have clarity. So we all have clarity. What I would like for you to do is take 3 deep breaths. Hold up. Just listen to my instructions first, Jean. All right. So I want you to take 3 breaths, right? 3 deep breaths in and out, right? And when you breathe in, I want you to breathe in all the things that you really need, the sustenance and the answers to the questions that you're about to ask. So you're breathing it in like you're taking it in. And when you breathe out, I want you to release all the things that you don't need. You're going to take 3 breaths, okay? And at the end of that third breath, I want you to say about whatever, like whatever about whatever you're feeling. You can say universe about this, about whatever, about this, about whatever is going on in your head. You can say about yesterday, about last week, about today, tomorrow, about this, about whatever. You say it like that. And then we'll do the reading. And when you say I'm clear, that's when I will pick the magic stones of the codex. All right? The magic stones, okay? Which affectionately we call the purple pill. So you can go ahead and do it on your own. Let me know when you're clear. Just say clear. All right. And then we'll proceed from there. Anybody else that wants a reading, same way. Now, what I'll do too is I'll put your thing on the screen. I'll put it on the screen so you'll be able to read it as well. All right. So tell me when you clear. Just say I'm clear, and take your time. Look, take your time. Do not rush. Take your time, please. Take your time. Thank you for everybody here. Peace to the family. 747 24/7, 361 degrees. All right, clear. All right, cool. I'm going to take my 3 breaths. Just one moment. Now, remember, keep your question clear about whatever, about this, about whatever you got. Remember, keep it clear in your head, whatever it's about. Whatever it's about, keep it clear in your head. Keep it clear. Keep it clear. So, this is what we call Fatu, and this is what we call the knot tire. This is like a knot that's untying. Like something that whatever was tied is now being released in some sort of way. All right. And I'm going to explain what Fatu is further about. All right. Thank you. Now, anytime Fatu is drawn, it deals with the morning of activities like getting up early or, being at something very early, not wasting too much time about it. All right. And Fatu, this is a Fatu reversed. I wanted to say. So Fatu is darkness before clarity, detachment, is connected to the planet Pluto, and it also is Canaz reversed. Okay, it connects up with that. All right. So it's attracted to the planet Pluto and also dealing with darkness before clarity as well as detachment. Another thing is with Fatu is reversed. I'm gonna read it to you. My fault. This is from the Magic Stones of the Codex. It's now on KEP. You can get the book there and either create your stones or you can order a pair of magic stones for yourself and we will send them to you. All right. So let me show you something real quick and let me explain something about this and I'm gonna elaborate on it real quick. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I got you. Fatu, when you think about Fatu, in a sense, like I was talking about it, like Fatu is the tying of the knot. It's like a knot that's tied, all right? And we learn things through knots. If anything I can tell you, like the universe, it teaches us things through knots. And those are different stages. Like let's say the universe, they say, hold on to the rope of Allah. And when you hold on to the rope of Allah, what you didn't know that rope actually had knots and increments attached to it in order to pull yourself up. All right. So let me qualify this real quick. All right. So Fatu reverse. Here you go. Thank you. So Fatu reverse. So this is the opening fire torch, the codex warning of dim light, sacred emptiness, and release of the outgrown. All right. When Fatu reverses, light recedes. Dimmed in a relationship, a connection, or a part of your inner identity. Something once bright is now dying. This could be a bond, a partnership, or a version of yourself that no longer lives in truth. Refusing to acknowledge this death can result in a loss, momentum, and blockage openings. The symbol now calls for release, not dramatic, but gradual, not forced, but necessary. Be prepared to live with emptiness for a time. Let the sacred void do its work. Do not cling to what's dissolving. This is not abandonment, it's divine closure. Stability is the command, not movement, not scrambling for replacement. Beware the seduction of old momentum. It will only delay the new that seeks to emerge. Sit still, let the old collapse. It was not built for this season. For this, this is not a failure. It's a shift of form, a torch set down so another can rise. This reversal reminds you endings not, this reversal reminds you endings that are not honored become chains. You are in a space of pre-light before dawn, before fire, before revelation. Wait without fear. The new flame will come. It always does, but not until it's time. For now, breathe, watch, release, and let the next fire light itself. Codex source map reference and alignment, and this is Kanaz reverse. That's what I was saying. Blockage, clarity, spiritual eclipse, fire fading. All right, and it's Iwas also transition. And these are ruins that connect up with it, letting go of outdated form. Isa stillness, temporary still winter, planetary associations, the sun's shadow, identity under review, unclear direction, Pluto, death of form, transformation, and the void, Saturn, restraint. Oh, wow. Saturn, restraint, discipline during stillness. All right. Numerology alignment, it aligns with the number 5, which is change, uncomfortable growth, sacred instability, and also the number 9, which is completion, spiritual release, and end of a cycle. All right. And also the 0, which is the void and reset, empty space before creation. And also I gave you some spiritual scriptures to relate to way these things connect up. And that's John 12:24. Unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains alone. Okay? So Surah, this is El Baqarah 2:155. And we still surely test you with something of fear and hunger. So don't worry about it. All right, just move forward. Okay, and Ecclesiastics 3:6, a time to seek, a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away. And this also goes you back to the Messiah Code wisdom when it says this: when the fire goes out, wait. The next flame is not yours to spark, it's yours to receive. Okay, so the activation phase of this is or activation phrase, I want you to repeat this to yourself. I do not chase the light, I honor the ending. I wait with an open soul. All right, so hopefully that connected up with you. That really connected up. I want to say, you know, Batu, very important. Very important. So I want to say this was a great discussion. Hopefully y'all heard me clear. The audios was going great, and we had a great discussion. I always want to make sure y'all hear me clear. Wow, that's crazy. I was asking for clarity, and my fire for God has been dimming for a while. You got it. I want you to come back home. I was praying for you today, Gene. I was praying for you today. And I came on here even though I worked over 13, 14 hours today. If for me to you, but I'm not complaining about it. That's the son of man. That's the son of man in me. You know, I worked 13 and a half, 14 hours today, and I still came on alive, and you probably didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying because I pray for souls. I pray for souls. I pray for people. And anytime if I'm inclined to go on the broadcast, I'm praying to connect with somebody that I need to connect up with. To be honest. For real. You know, you gotta do you know, a lot of people seek signs of God, but when God puts out the help wanted sign, a lot of people don't want to do the work. Yo, we got Sister Angela praying for you. Thank you. Thank you, sis. I pray for you. I prayed for you a while, Sister Angela. You know, when you was going through your stuff. You know, a lot of people went through abuse and a lot of stuff like that, you know, and situations where they were locked in. And, you know, I was praying that you made it out. I know my people. Thank you for your service. So God bless you. Thank you. We're both here to serve. You're doing the service as well. You know, shout out to 727, the Holy Spirit, Solar Prime Supreme. You know, I saw the light. That was the light that was coming out of that crack. That was that light that came out of that crack. I'm trying to tell you, it brought you out of that box. But yeah, I'm glad that you made it out and you safe and you know, and you look like you're in good health. You said I escaped. That's good. Yeah, I was praying for you. You disappeared for a while, and when people go through things like that, you know, people don't understand. I counsel a lot of people. It's just not okay. I get on this broadcast. It's the broadcast, but at the same time, we communicate. It's people that I communicate with and do my best to counsel and share the light of joy and inspiration. And you know, we all part of this great journey of the universe. And I'm gonna say thank you. You know, thank you for sticking by the tribe and seeing the growth and coming home. That was important because you know that we love you here. I would like for you to link up with my wife, Thea Lamel, as well as the Oracle. You know, they forming a community, which is the mom community. They are in charge. All right. They in charge now. Watch what's going to happen with it. It's going to grow. And they want to link up with good women like yourself that have a story to tell. That have a story to tell. And your story can help somebody else. All right. And Lord willing, when we raise our church, we're going to do a rehabilitation center for people. I would like to do that, if anything. And I want to call it the Karen Rodriguez Rehabilitation Center. I want to dedicate it to my mom. And it's going to be for anybody that's on drugs, think needs to clean up their self, and we're going to clean them up, and we're going to do service, real service. So mark my word, you know, Lord willing, you know, Lord, God gives me that. God gives me the chance to do that. I will raise that rehabilitation center and I will name it in honor of my mom. It will be called the Karen Rodriguez Rehabilitation Center. And it will be a place of love. And we won't be turning away people. You know, when I was in the church in Louisiana, they got mad at me when I was working for the church in Louisiana, Galilee Baptist Church. You know, they was mad because I was letting in the hustlers. I was letting in the prostitutes. I was letting in the drug dealers after hours at church. They said, "Man, why are you letting these people in the church?" I said, "Well, you leave the liquor store open. You leave the liquor store open, but you won't leave the door. You won't leave the doors of the church open. You must be out of your mind." And I had a problem with that. I really had a problem with it when I was doing my service and I was working and I was a counselor at Galilee Baptist Church in Springfield, Louisiana. Man, I said this is insane. This is insane. We need to tell them if they prostitutes or whatever. We need to tell them to come here. We need to tell them to come in this place so they have sanctuary. So they can you know, because remember when the devil was coming through to take people, or when that spirit was coming through to take people, the spirit didn't enter that house that had something on it, right? In Moses' time. And that spirit is trying to take that person, whether you know it or not. It's the firstborn of God. The firstborn of God. Man, come on, man. Pay attention to the scriptures. That's Exodus chapter, man, watch this. Exodus, I can take y'all Exodus chapter 7:1. Exodus 7:1. Man, that was that was that was or the 7-1 or yeah. All this prophet. No, my fault. It's Exodus 4:22. I'm thinking in my head right now. I got a lot of stuff on my mind. My fault. Oh, there it is, right there. Look, that's why I told y'all. Pay attention. Pay attention to the scriptures, what they saying to us. So, ah, let me fix this real quick. I don't know if y'all can see it, but the scripture says this. I'm gonna copy and paste it in the comment section, real quick. I'm gonna copy and paste it real quick. All right. So what it says right there is this. It said, look, it said, say to Pharaoh, this is what the Lord says. Israel is my firstborn. My firstborn. Now remember, the firstborn, they was going after the firstborn when they was trying to take the people out when some of the curses that was on the land, it was taking out the firstborn. Now look, except for the people that had things on their houses. What I'm telling you is that those people that are in those type of situations are the firstborn of God. They're the firstborn of God. Trust me on that. Because they know the pain and they know what it feels to be redeemed. That's why I said they're the firstborn of God. Because you walking around goody two shoe, you don't know what it means to be redeemed. You walking around with high thinking you all of that, you don't know what it feels like to have mercy or for God to give you mercy. You know what I'm saying? These are the firstborn. These are the firstborn that they talking about. And remember, I told y'all, how do y'all know the marks of a Messiah? Y'all looking for the mark of Messiah. Like the Messiah has a mark on him, or the Messiah has a mark on her. Y'all know what it is? It's the scars. It's the scars. It's on your body from you surviving, you making it. You still here. You realize you still here. Those are the marks of the Messiah. Because what did the Messiah have? He had stripes on his back. He had stripes on his back. All right? He had bruises from them beating on him, from the pain that he took. So do you. You got bruises from the pain that you took, that you went through, Messiah. And those are the marks, or the hallmarks of who you are. All right? I don't know, man. I'm just telling y'all how I feel, man. And I'm telling y'all just what is real. They offered us a lot of stuff that's just, it's just, it's just an illusion, man. It's really just an illusion. And I don't got nothing else to say about it. I'm not going to go off and whatever and go hard on people because they chose the red pill. They chose the blue pill. You chose the purple pill. You didn't choose to forget. You chose to forgive. You didn't choose to sacrifice people or be a hater. You chose to love and you chose to sacrifice yourself and offer yourself as a willing sacrifice. Look, God, I give you everything I got. I don't care. I'll give you everything I got. That's how I feel every day. If you want to know from me to you, like, man, people wonder how I do this shit. Man, yo, I say, God, man, I'm gonna give you everything I got, man. I'm gonna give you everything I got. So if I work, I travel, I do things that's unorthodox, that's really not easy for the average person. Shit, Samson, he had the strength of 1,000 men, and so do you, Messiah. So do you. It's no doubt. That's how I feel, man. I'm gonna give you everything. I'm gonna give you everything. And then we'll see how it goes from there. I don't got to do anything else. You know, the universe speaks through you. Trust me on that. Y'all don't got to worry about a lot of things, man. Stop stressing out. Allow the universe to flow through you and move through you so you can get to the place that you need to go. That's the first step in the Messiah code. You know, it's movement, harukment. It's movement, it's progress to be made as long as you're committed to take that step. All right? If anything, I can tell you, I don't, for real, I'm not here to lecture you. It's not even the fact that, you know, I'm here to tell you, like, man, I got your back. I know how it feels to be in a lot of places y'all been. I know what it means to have pain. I know what it means to be in hardship. I know what it means to be broke. I know what it means to have not or have something. And, I know what it means to go lose people. I know these, I know these same feelings. I've been through a lot of things that y'all been through in order so I can share the same message that is hope. And you say, man, we ain't going to use that word hope. Well, there is the plan. And man has a plan, but God is the best of all planners. And you think about the architect. The architect is the one that creates the plan for the building. Yeah, and we're building now. We're building ourselves up. We're building ourselves. All right? So I'm going to leave it at that. I love y'all. This was a great discussion. Wow, it's 1:31. I've been on here an hour and 31 minutes. Cool. Yo, I'm happy, man. If anything, from me to y'all, man, I'm happy, man. Yeah, love you too, Angela. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy, you know, because, like, once you find, like, the things that I share with y'all, listen, man, the information that I share with you, like, I ask, I ask God for this information. I ask the universe to give me something special. Give me something that I never heard so I can be that vessel for someone to hear something that can be moving in their life. I asked that and I requested that, and it was given to me. And that's what you have with the Messiah Code. That's what you have here. All right? And I share it with the world. All right? So remember about that box. I want y'all to get out of that box. I want y'all to get out of that prison that they trapped you in. But first, you have to answer the call. Remember that. You have to answer that call. Once you answer that call, first you have to dial the operator before you can answer the call. Remember that. They're like, who's the operator? How do you get to the operator? Remember, I said you need to know the phone number of the operator because the operator, and just to bring all this stuff back real quick. Yeah. Angela, it's 15. Look at this. Oh, man. This is so fire, man. I love this build. Man, when the universe gave this to me, I was like, wow. I said, man, you want me to drop that on them? I said, man, this is crazy. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. When the universe gave this to me, I said, man, yo, you want me to drop that on them? I said, man, that's how you break out of it? I said, man, I don't know how y'all gonna take this stuff. Look, Saturn, remember, you said 111. I said, remember, 15 is the number of the operator, right? But in order to dial the operator, all these numbers add up to 15, right? All these numbers add up to 15, they equally balance. Remember, I was saying that. But I brought y'all to this right here. I said the operator number, which is 0, in order to connect up with the operator. Man, this shit is crazy, man. This is crazy stuff. This is blowing my mind. Look, There it is right there, binary. Because binary, this is how you count the digits in binary. You got bits. This is a binary to decimal, bit value table. This is a bits to bytes. All right. All of these are a byte, but one of them is a bit. So now when you turn these on, it's just 1 1 1 1 1. Those are on. What you notice is that 1 1 1 1 adds to 15. She was the operator that was answering the, like when you called her up, you're like, operator, I need the landline. Like I need to find a landline, operator, so I can get out of this matrix. You dial 1 1 1 1, which was your angel number. That was your angel number. It's 4 ones that you dial in order to reach the operator, which number is 15. Her number is 15. The operator's number is 15, but it's not what you think. It's all scrambled up. It's all coded. Stop thinking like how y'all, please stop thinking regular, like freaking human beings. Stop thinking like regular human beings that are trapped in this. Crack the code. All of these are riddles. They're like it's cryptic. It's encrypted. You're not just going to dial 15 and get to the operator. No. You have to know the code. And the code is 1111 in order to get to the operator. She was the operator the whole time. She, like, every one of us have like a certain position here on this earth. So you'll know who we are on the other side. So you'll know who we are on the other side. Now, she, which is that angel number, is the operator. She's the true operator. And when you dial her up 1111, you'll reach her. She'll say, hello, hey, hello. You say, hello, yeah, hell is low. You're right, hell is low. That's the answer. When she say hello, she's gonna, it's a riddle for you to answer. You want to say, yeah, you're right, hell is low. And then she'll proceed to get you out of the matrix. Man, yo. If anything, I can tell you, man, this stuff is so heavy. When I found out all of this stuff, it's all symbolic. You have to find out what it means, not me. I know what it means to me. I'm only relaying the message to you. You have to figure out what it means to you, because I'm broadcasting. I'm broadcasting from the mainframe to reach you so you can get out. So you can get out. You think it's me talking here. You think it's, oh, that's Lamel just having, no. This is a broadcast to get you out. It's a broadcast to get you out. All right? So I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to leave it at this. Y'all know what it is. I don't got nothing else to say. Y'all know where y'all going to have to go. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, y'all. All right? Don't be afraid to get out when it's time. Don't be afraid. All right? So I love y'all. 747 24/7, 361 degrees. This was a great discussion. All right? Cool.